Hi, I'm Louise McCarthy and I've been a Digital Transformation Director for about 14 years. I've undertaken about 7 transformations over that period, mainly in the financial services. And really what I want to talk about today is how the new technology, bots and chatbots, are going to help me in my next transformation. So describing digital transformation means lots of things to different people, and in fact I slapped myself actually because I probably got to stop using the word transformation because it scares people. In the organisations that I've been in, when I use the word transformation, everybody thinks, well, what does that mean to me? Does that mean I'm going to lose my job? So you get them off on a bad footing to start off with. But for me, digital transformation or digital operation efficiency and effectiveness is really a more important word. It's about how you can use digital technology to improve your customer's journey, both internal customers and your external customers. I think the common areas that people are using to improve that change is, I think to start off with, it's where they're processing things manually in the back office, so your finance functions, your IT functions, your customer support functions, where they're all being manually processed today. A lot of it's paper-based, it's dipping in and out of systems, doing things on spreadsheets, and that's not conducive to a streamlined process. It's hugely expensive and it's very cumbersome to actually change in the future. So digital technologies are going to change that and do change that. They find ways of automating the full end-to-end journey and process at a much lower cost, and in future changes are much quicker, more streamlined and faster. So using digital technology enables not only cost reduction, streamlined processes, but it also improves your customer service and your customer journey. And at the end of the day, this is what we're all here for, is making sure our customers are satisfied. So I'm very excited about chatbots and bots because that's the new technology which is looking to say, well, how does a customer interact with us and how can we make their life easier? So when the customer's chatting to us, we can actually learn from that chat to automate the back offices. But that also will help the internal organisation to reduce the number of employees, or we call it FTEs, full-time employees, required to actually run those processes. That doesn't mean to say it's necessarily just about cutting costs. Those employees then could be more focused on more value-add type activities to actually say, well, how can we grow the business in a different way, and using bots even further into that technology to actually create new product lines for the business. So that's where the real digital disruption for me is coming, and a lot of banking, financial services institutions are beginning to understand that and beginning to embrace it, and the technology I'd say going forward, that's where I would be looking to actually improve the business. I think the common starting points to begin on a journey is understanding what you have today. And I use that as in terms of KPIs and measures. So what are the measures? What's the call volume into your help desk? How many call associates have you got manually processing those calls? And what are the reasons for the calls into that help desk? So understanding what you've got, that's just a small example. And then understanding what the clients want. Your clients don't want to have to call into the help desk, that's not fun. Your clients want to be able to go through the whole end-to-end journey without talking to anybody, if possible. And I think the important thing is understanding where you are today and where you're trying to get to. And then you can align technology and the transformation or the digital journey to that. I think Avenir's approach is that they're very professional. They understand the business problems, they're not pushy. They want to see and help you go on that journey by holding your hand to actually open your eyes to see what can be done and how that technology can be used in your own organisation. So they're prepared to look and do case studies. I mean, I've seen a number of case studies, for example, document check-in in the financial services. What that means is, for example, in a bank, you have thousands and thousands of people who historically have taken pages and pages of contracts or documents and manually checked them. I mean, that's really archaic. How wonderful would that be to take that away and have that automated so that whole document piece is done much quicker? What does that also mean? That also improves cybersecurity. So a lot of organisations, especially financial services, are really scared about cybersecurity. If they're carrying great big wads of contracts and papers around with them, that's not very secure. Whereas having the bots automating that document check-in process, and you're not having documents now floating around in paper form, would actually protect them from that security as well. So Avenir help you through that and help you understand particular case studies where you can use bots and then you can grow it and evolve it in the organisation. That's why I'm so excited to be involved in this journey. Yes, I mean, for example, there's lots of new compliance, and compliance is the thing that scares most people. You've got Solvency II, you've got GDPR, you've got the financial services. I think all of this helps towards that. And the process of GDPR, for example, is a frustration to many organisations at the moment. They know they need to be compliant by May next year, and they're not ready for it. Whereas if you could have bots to do the compliance check, to ping the emails and get the consent out from your clients quickly, that takes away that headache and the nightmare that many organisations are afraid of. So digitalising that whole GDPR process is low cost. I know many organisations are actually looking to the big four consultancy firms, just like we did with the lots of other things that have happened just recently in terms of technology, spending a huge amount of money when they don't need to. They can spend a little bit amount of money with Avenir helping them use bots to actually do that consenting or the automation. That reduces their cost and takes that nightmare away. I mean, this is only one of many, many compliance things that are coming down the line. But once that process is started and you're using bots in terms of that technology, you wouldn't be worrying in the future about things like that coming down the line. I think that's a misnomer. So people saying that this is expensive technology or it's difficult to implement. I'd say the opposite actually. In all the transformations I've ever done, I've actually spent zero in terms of money. And the reason why I've done that is because I've done what you call invest to save. So I found technology that it's not hugely expensive, that gives me quick wins in terms of cost reduction really early on, and then I can use that cost reduction to invest in the next piece of technology. So as long as I get the first wave of saving, and that first wave of saving for me usually comes from inefficiencies in the current processes, switching off things you're not using. There's so much you can identify through transparency. In the early days of a operation efficiency program, you can find some quick win savings, and then you can use those quick win savings in the next piece of technology. And bots and chatbots aren't expensive compared to the legacy systems that everybody was using in the past, and compared to the number of FTEs we've got managing the processes. So I think once you've got your first quick win savings under the belt, you can actually then invest it into just lower cost technology such as bots and robots.